It is one thing to want to get married, but it is another thing to be open to what marriage requires. Marriage requires many things, and we'll be talking about them. Are you ready? It's single talk. Are you really ready
For
marriage?
Yeah.
Do you think you're really ready? Let's dive in. You're welcome to this channel. This is Foundation for Family Affairs, and I am Chidi Akunna.
And I'm Victor Akunna.
At the Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And we are loving what we're seeing in the lives of those we work with. Marriage is beautiful. You may have seen some negative experiences, but we've come today to let you know marriage is beautiful if done right. And that's why we put out this content week in, week out, for you to, be equipped with the information, with the knowledge, with the tools you need for marriage.
Fantastic. Are you really ready for marriage? Marriage is beautiful. That's a message we're trying to get out there, because at the end of the day, we kind of replicate what we've seen most of the time. So rather than just replicating something that is negative, if that's the experience you've seen most of the time, we're trying to give you the tools and the skill to be able to create the kind of marriage you want. It is not enough for you to just say, I don't want a bad marriage. You have to now say the type of marriage you want. Because it's like trying to drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. No, whatever you've seen was in the past or is in the past. Okay, so now we're trying to give you the tools and the skills that will help you create the marriage of the future, the marriage that you want. And that's why we're always here.
Yeah, so we've come your way with 5 C's that will revolutionize how you think about marriage. What does marriage really require? The first point we've got for you today is connected lives. Hey, how do you go into marriage? It's the coming together of two people to connect.
2 families as well.
2 families, yes. When I'm coming with my history. I'm coming with my experiences. I'm coming with all of the people I've got in there to connect with you, and likewise. Yeah. So it's you've got to be connected. So it is strange when we see people who say they want to marry and they want to do it the way they want to do it. Hey, marriage connects you, and we'll be talking about how it connects you further. But this is the moment where we invite you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and hit the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. Back to connected lives. Marriage connects us even financially. Yeah, my credit score could affect him because he's married to me.
Absolutely.
I'll let you take over.
And the positive side as well. So if I probably inherited a lot of wealth, we also rub off on that. So what we're trying to say
that's a good point.
That's a good point.
We need to go in there, because it's not just about the debt. Okay, marriage improves you as well.
Absolutely.
If you're coming with some wealth, and that's why you see these days some people decide to sign prenuptials because they're trying to protect their wealth. Okay, if I inherit something, from maybe the estate of one of my parents, it impacts you positively.
Absolutely. Yes. So at the end of the day, our lives are connected. So that's why the onus is on you to do really good soul searching, to say, are you ready for this level of commitment? Are you ready for this level of connection? All right. Are you ready for this level of connection? Are you ready to be open? Are you ready to share your life? Because one of the things that helps connection is vulnerability. To be able to say, I have this debt. Oh, I have this habit. All right, because the habit, if you have a, for example, poor eating habits or poor hygiene, all right, it's going to rub off on your spouse. Yeah. All right. Some people cannot sleep in a room that is untidy. So if you are the very untidy type, chronically, different people are untidy, maybe on different levels. But someone that is chronically untidy can really influence the productivity of another. So marriage is so critical that if you trying to get married and also trying to live as a single person will be counterproductive. You have to realize that you have to come to that point where you accept, in fact, not just mentally assenting to it, accepting the fact that my life is going to be connected to this person. All right. My life is going to be connected. Our names will be connected. Our reputation will be connected. Our brands will be connected. a lot of things will be connected.
I mean, as people go through divorce, I shouldn't be talking about that, but it's just good to know. There are people who may have been living together in the same house, but then they have been living separate lives.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, so at that point, it's no longer marriage. They're not married. So if you're together with your spouse, and this might be for any married person who is watching it as well, who is watching this as well, if you're together, you should ensure that you're living connected lives. That's what makes it a marriage. So in that case, you'll be having meetings. You'll be calling each other, to higher standards. If your spouse is doing something would affect you, could affect you, you'll be speaking out.
Yes.
You'll just be turning a blind eye like, okay, that's his business, whatever he does. It affects you.
It does affect you.
So that's why as single people, now is the time where you're looking out, you're yet to make this decision. You should be looking out for who you want to journey with, the right person. Is he that kind of person you want to be connected to for life? Very important question. Okay, so the next C we have for you today is commitment. Marriage requires commitment. You can't do marriage without commitment. What is commitment? It's a pledge to a cause. I pledge to this. So it means I'm sticking with this regardless. Okay, it might not be comfortable all of the time, but because I've made that commitment, I'm going to stay through. And that's what marriage requires.
The commitment starts from the vow that you make to each other before multitude of witnesses. All right, where you stand and say you give yourself to this person in sickness, in health. In other words, it doesn't matter the external circumstances or internal circumstances. I am going to stay true to this cause. The cause of being this person's husband, the cause of being this person's wife, irrespective, forsaking all others. So that vow is the beginning of that commitment. Now, that's the big one. Then there are daily commitments. Commitments, you committing to the process of reconciliation. Because some people don't commit to that process. So the relationship begins to disintegrate. Some people don't commit to the process of conversation when there is a problem. They say, you know what, I don't want to talk about it. And they walk away. And then they carry on. You have to come there. So that's the big commitment. And then there are little commitment every day to keep that relationship going. All right. So commitment means sometimes it might hurt you personally. In other words, it might not be something that you like. So for example, you are the type of person that believes in YOLO. You only live once. You like to spend the money as it's come. I mean, my dad saved and he passed on. He didn't really enjoy his life. And that's the narrative that you've grown up. And you made up your mind that you will be different. You will enjoy it. You blow all the money. But now you're married. Somebody else has a stake. And she wants some form of security, financial security, to know that when she needs money to do something important, the money will be there because you are putting it together. When the children need something, the money will be there. We need to make investment. We need to plan for our retirement. That's somebody else's stake. So commitment means that I'm going to be willing to meet her halfway, to be able to say, in as much as I like to enjoy life, all right, or you like to enjoy life, what can we do to work something out? Okay, we're going to have a pause that we never touch. That's commitment. It's not what you want, what you will have done if you are single, but because you are committed to this marriage, you're committed to your spouse, you are willing. So it's very important for you to know, that this marriage is not just for you alone. Both of you have a stake in it, and there are more people that will be joining that will have a stake in it. So you have to do something that will be in the best interest of the marriage at the end of the day.
Yes, commitment is just a call to responsibility. There's a point it gets to where you have to drop your rights. Yes, you may be right, like you were saying earlier. It's no longer about your rights, but responsibility. Responsibility demands that you are there, you show up. Okay, and you show up regardless. You're upset. Oh, he's hurt me, she's hurt me. No, it's not about that at this point. We have made a commitment to be together and to make this marriage work, to make this marriage happy, to make the experience worth it for everyone in the marriage. That's where what we should be aiming for.
Let me just quickly add this. Another thing about commitment is that sometimes when people are upset, when couples are upset with each other, they stop doing what they would normally do. So let's say every morning you make a cup of tea for your wife. You make a cup of tea for your husband. But because you're upset, you can't be bothered. Every morning, both of you talk. Because you are upset, you don't want to talk. You don't want to say hi. You don't want to greet. No. Whether you are upset or not, commitment means you do what you are supposed to do. If you are the one that irons your spouse's clothes, all right, you go ahead and you still do it. These are the little things that make couples, no matter how much they get angry, they find a way, because you guys are committed to ensuring that you keep in touch with each other. And you can't be angry with someone that you are constantly interacting with for a long period. All right, so create a make sure that you are committed to opening having opened the channel of conversation, of communication. Very, very critical.
Yes, I like that. I like that. Okay, so the next C we have for you is competence. And they'll tell you that competence is a broader concept which marries skills, knowledge, and behavior. When I saw this, I thought this was really good. Okay, it's one thing to have skills, which I'll let you talk about shortly. Okay, and knowledge. You're going for knowledge. You're learning about marriage, but it must reflect in your behavior.
Absolutely.
It must show that I am gathering this knowledge.
Absolutely.
Don't just be someone who looks out for videos to watch for the other person, the person you're in a relationship with. Oh, he needs to hear this. He needs to hear this because he did this the other day.
Yes.
Okay. How is that? How is what you're taking in affecting you as an individual?
The thing about marriage is that marriage is part of life. All right. So some people think that when I get married, things will change. No, things will not change, because it's the same you. It's the same you in the picture. So things will not change unless you make it change. So what are the kind of skills that you will need? Communication skill. All right. Have you ever watched a movie or witnessed, or I hope this is not you, where anytime your spouse is going for something, or maybe having a chat with your spouse or with your friend, you are panicking because you know that they can just say the wrong thing, just make the wrong jokes, or a joke that is insensitive, or discuss something that you shared with them in confidence. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that one of the things you need before you get married is communication skills, knowing the right things to say to who at the right time. Very important. There are some husbands that every time they're always calling them that their wives are always going off tangents. There are some wives that they are so embarrassed to bring their husbands into their social circle because you just say the wrong thing, make a joke about a woman's hair, a woman that sat at the salon for more than 5 hours to look good. You just say, why are you making this kind of hair? What is your business? All right. So it's very important for you to have some very critical skills like communication skills, like putting the house in order. That's a skill. All right, using the right colors, that's a skill. Let there be a theme around the house, that's a skill. Some people just decorate, put different things based on what they are seeing. No, let there be a theme around the property, around the house. All right, there are other skills. Timekeeping is a skill, right? So, cooking is a skill. That's a big deal.
Because it's when you have a couple where one person is a stickler for time and the other is not, it's really embarrassing. It should be embarrassing to both of you to walk into a place, into a meeting late. But if that keeps happening, we've seen this where it causes a lot of rift in the relationship, because one person is not keeping to time.
Very important. So what we're trying to say is that your life will not be suspended or automatically get better. No.
Yes.
You have to get the right knowledge, you have to get the right skill, you have to get the right behavior. So the question you should ask yourself is this: what kind of a marriage do I want? And who do I need to become to have that kind of marriage? Very powerful questions. And make a list of the person you need to become. Within that list, you will see the necessary skill you need to develop. All right. So some of those skills are things that you might not have now. Some of them you have to hone them and make them better. Very, very important. So, but one of the top one on my list is communication skills, relationship building skills. You're going to have in-laws you don't like. You're going to have people you don't agree with. The fact that they are your spouse's sibling does not mean they will share the same values with your spouse. They may share completely different values. So you have to have that relationship building skills. Sometimes you may not agree. You have to find a way to work it out. That's it.
Brilliant. So it's about becoming. You keep developing yourself.
Absolutely.
You're bringing you into the marriage.
Absolutely.
So what kind of you are you?
I like that.
Okay, so the next thing we have for you is character. Character. And according to Oxford Dictionary, character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to a person. Mental part, that's things that dealing with, like relating to emotions, how you process and express emotions. Okay, you were talking about improving yourself, developing yourself, acquiring skills. These are things you need. Okay, with character, you should be showing strength of character. Resilience. Are you someone who just walks out when it's difficult?
When it's tough.
You know, you in one relationship, the person shows maybe gives up a kind of attitude you don't like, you just check out. Okay, how about staying in that relationship, talking through it, okay, and seeing if we can, improve as well. You shouldn't just shut down. Sometimes you were talking about communication earlier. Some people just shut down. If it's not going your way, you shut down. Or you're having a conversation with somebody, the person is not buying your opinion on the matter. You shut down. You don't want to talk anymore. You don't want to speak. No, you can't be like that. It's marriage requires character. You've got to be there. You've got to show up, convenient or not. Some of the things we're talking about. Okay, mental character.
Powerful. I was just enjoying listening to you. That mental character part is the part that doesn't get emphasized.
Yes.
Because you will go through issues as a couple. All right. Some people, for us, for example, we waited for our first child almost 8 years. That was a trying period. All right. There were goals that we set our eyes on that was difficult, such that the way we made the goal, that going back was impossible. Going forward was challenging, but we had to stay there. We stuck with each other through the process. So it's very important for you to be able to develop that kind of mental toughness. It is one of the things that help people not to just lapse into depression.
Yes.
You have to have that mental agility, the mental strength to be able to develop that. It's something that you need. Don't just look for it in your spouse. You need that kind of mental strength because you don't know what life will throw at you. You can't just check out to be, you know what, I'm out of here. It's too much. You have to develop better coping capabilities, better coping skills, so that you no matter what comes, you see it as a stepping stone to a better version, to something new. Very critical for you to be able to develop that part of your character. The moral part is important. Integrity, keeping your word, honesty, keeping, being forthright, loyalty, be loyal to your spouse. Very, very, very critical. But this other bit is equally as important. Yeah.
Okay, so let's deal with the final C we have for you today. Care. Do you care? Do you care? Some of us are so into ourselves. Marriage requires that you look out for the needs of the other. Okay, so I can't be in a marriage and all I do is want what benefits me alone all the time.
Yes.
Okay, I know there's a lot of hype around self-care. That's very important.
That's important.
But you also need to be looking out for the needs of your spouse. And this is why sometimes some things come as a shock in marriage. There was a case we were privy to, and one of the couple committed suicide. And by the time they revealed why that happened, the spouse was really shocked that all of this was, you mean all of this were taking place and I didn't know about them? Okay, so we need to care enough. When you get to that point where you're beginning to notice, for you to care, you would be very observant. Okay, you're beginning to notice that your spouse is not the same person. You should be able to tell, okay, that your spouse is no more as motivated as he used to be. You should be able to tell. You should be querying why this. Okay, sometimes they may say, oh no, I need some time. Yes, but don't just take time and say, okay, when you're sorted, you come to me. No, don't just do that. Okay, it's marriage. You need to be caring because, like we said in the first point, what affects this person affects you.
Yes.
If this person is no more, it would affect you. If it doesn't affect you because you think you're financially stable, it will cause you some emotional stress, whether you like it or not. So you need to be looking out for the needs of this person. Let's check out on each other. Okay, it's not just about me. I should be caring enough. I should be observant to notice when things are changing. Yes.
To care, from our own point of view, is to provide something that is critical for the well-being, health of another person. All right. So if you're caring for a baby, you're looking after the well-being of that baby. You're ensuring that the baby feeds when it's supposed to feed. You're ensuring that the baby is changed at the appropriate time. You're ensuring that the baby has proper sleep, goes to bed early. The mental growth, physical growth, the same way you can care for your spouse, care for your marriage, to be sure that your spouse is doing the right thing in terms of they're not abandoning their dreams while you are busy pursuing yours. They are not abandoning self-development. They are constantly learning. While you are learning, you guys are sharing. You are sharing what, knowledge sharing is happening as you are interacting with each other. These are one of the ways where you can care. You are listening when your spouse is complaining about something that's happening at work or complaining with something that's happening with another colleague. You're just saying, oh, I've told you what to do. It's not all the time they need solution. You are caring by showing empathy, by being present, actively listening. That is these are some of the ways you can care about your spouse. All right. You are going above and beyond to look out for something that is in their best interest. All right. Pushing each other, holding each other accountable to a higher standard. You are caring. If you don't care about somebody, you don't care whether they come in, whether they go out, when they go, where they are. It doesn't bother you. But once you begin to do that without violating their privacy, that is you showing care. Care. You have to care for the person. If you have professed love to someone, it's expected that you care.
Okay, so those are the 5 C's we have for you today. Have they impacted you? What have you picked from the things we've shared? Leave them in the comment section. We'd like to read from you. If you think you have friends who will benefit from this, please share this video with them. Share. You never know who you'll be impacting positively. Okay, and if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content.
Thank you guys who are always joining us, who are always commenting. Because of GDPR, we can't mention your name or we see your names in the comment section. Thank you. You are the reason why we do this day in, week in, week out. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. So until we come your way again, it's goodbye from us.
Bye.